So day one of camp, what are you looking for out there?
You know what? We're just trying to install a couple of things. We have a light schedule in October for games, so we have a lot of practice time. So far as we're concerned, we just want to see the guys get comfortable. Try to make the new people. There's 5, 6 tryout guys here. The other players have been on a camp for 2 to 3 weeks now, so it's pretty hard. Those guys are jumping on a moving train. But we want to make them feel comfortable and give everyone an opportunity to just get their feet underneath them.
That's the question. Those 5, 6 guys who haven't been skating, they've been working out, so they're not in no shape whatsoever. But at the same time, do you have to slow it down? How do you keep the challenge for the guys who have been around as opposed and balance that?
Yeah, this is every parent's nightmare. We coach up, not down, so I hope the schools are doing that locally, and we want everyone to drag with them. So they got to get up to speed, and we definitely are going to focus on the main group and the habits that we want and the structure. But just, building good habits and what we expect from our practice habits. So, yeah, we won't be slowing down anytime soon.
You had said the other day that about 80% of what you do is what they do in Nashville. So these guys are used to what's going on here.
Yeah, so it's like I said, it's a lot of the stuff we've done before as well as a team. So there's a lot of carryover. Some days will be 100% the same as Nashville. Some days it'll be less. It all depends on what we're working on, what we're trying to do. Coaching comes down these days. Most teams play pretty similar to each other. Comes down to the messaging and getting your team to execute longer than the other team.
When you bring this group in, I mean, what do you gear? Do you gear up at all for the exhibition game, or is it just a thing in the way?
Yeah, for me, I'll just talk to some of our older players and see their opinions. Do they want a game? Do they need a game? Do they not need a game? There's some decisions to be made, and since Scott and I have come here, we've always made a commitment to playing people in the games. They're good. People are here to show, earn an opportunity, whether it's to start the year here or to be the first call-up person. So we want to make sure they get every opportunity to get into a game, make sure they get to show what they can do. So for us, we don't gear up for the exhibition games. We're trying to learn a few things. It gives us a little bit of video against someone else. So no wins in the exhibition season that are going to be counted in the regular season. So we're really focused on just getting ready for the start of the year.
As you start the year, you have a lot of experience on the blue line. Most of those guys were here, the vast majority, if not all of them, were here last season. How much does that help going into a year?
Yeah, it helps a lot. Our D core is really strong. Our goaltending should be strong. Then our forwards are very talented, but we're a younger group up there. There's no secrets there. It'll be a group that has to grow a little bit. That group will be better in the spring than they will in the fall because it's hard. The American Hockey League is really hard. There's men playing in this league with children, guys that are older. We're going to go to Chicago and play Cole Snyder, who is a great leader that we had here and just someone we really appreciate. And we know how hard he plays and what he brings every day. And Cole's whatever age, 30 or whatever he is now, and he's going to be playing against these 19, 20-year-old kids we have. That's a learning experience for anyone. So there'll be some growth early, but we're okay. We understand that, and we expect it.
But you do have Cal O'Reilly now. He's not 20.
No, Cal's an older player for sure, and his long history in the organization, a long history. I watched him in this rink play against us and light us up in playoffs. So I definitely know what he can do. I don't know him personally, but we're getting to know each other, and someone who's very invested in what he does, a real pro. So hopefully the young guys can learn from him, and the best lessons they're going to get is from the other people in the room more so than the coaching staff.
So do you do 2-3 practices a week to try to instill all the things that you want to do this week? Or
yeah, we're gonna do today. Today was all stuff with the puck, and then tomorrow will be more of the defensive stuff. We'll decide how we move forward as we try to build our rosters and see how the energy is for the guys. Thursday maybe you do an inter squad depending on what's happening or how many guys want to play in the exhibition games. We have to balance that out, and it's always a flexible thing depending on where we're at and what we're expecting, and also what Nashville's doing this week. Things can always change, so we'll see how that moves forward.
Speaking of veterans, you got Troy back. Isn't that like an old shoe? It just fits? Seems to fit?
Yeah, Troy's a great individual. We had him for 2 years. I love him. He's a great goaltender. Let's not go to all the community stuff. He's really good at what he does. His last year here won goalie of the year with Connor Ingram, and he's an elite American League goaltender. And what a great situation for Askarov to learn from and the other players to learn from. But let's not forget, he's a goalie first and foremost. Obviously, being a local person and his mom and dad's story is awesome. But it's just a situation where you bring back someone who wants to extend his career. He's very focused on what he wants to do here, and he's definitely not done playing. He wants to keep pushing the envelope. So we're really happy to have Troy.
And ask her off back. What type of a dynamic is that, Karl, when you have like the young prospect, hot up and comer, and the old wily veteran, so to speak?
Have you seen Bull Durham?
I have seen Boulder.
So, anyways, we'll see how it plays out, right? And hopefully, Askey doesn't have any fungus in his sandal shoes, shower shoes. So,
He's got his cliches down.
correct. And so we'll see how it moves forward. But Goose is a very good person first and foremost. So is Askey. And those guys are going to figure it out. They're going to learn. They'll pick each other up when there's the goalie's always there's just this solid goalie union. It's really hard to break into unless you got pads on. But sometimes you can sneak in there if you give them some goalie-friendly drills and support them. But I'm in and out of it all year. So some days you're in it and sometimes you're out of it. Those guys will be super tight and they'll support each other.
And obviously you're back too, Karl. I mean, how much do you relish being a part of an organization that competes for championships, titles, and wants to win each and every year?
Yeah, well, that's, if you go in our locker room, the one saying we have, I'm not big on quotes, but we win here. And that's a focus for our organization in Milwaukee. We want to develop players. Scott Nichols done a great job every year as far as securing players at the deadline, making the moves we need to, helping our team win here in Milwaukee while also developing players. So I think you can do both. Some teams aren't operated that way. So for myself, I have long-term goals, coaching the National Hockey League, and that's a lot easier if you're winning games. So I do appreciate that a lot and the efforts to help us have team success, but also for our great community. We got a great group of fans that come out here. They love the game. We got close last year. There's high expectations every season now, and it's improved every season. And we're just one more step away. So hopefully we can climb that mountain this year.